Welcome grade 10s to yet another video on factorization, which you should be busy with at the moment, or maybe already finished with it. And this is part 3, where we're going to look at the two types of trinomials that you get. A trinomial is 3 terms in your expression, and the grade 9 one that you should be aware of by now is when we look at a trinomial starting with a 1. We had ones that started maybe with a negative, and then you took out a negative, and then what is left was a trinomial, or there was a common factor that could have been taken out so that you get x squared. That was your grade 9 level. So just quickly, if you had to factorize that, I do have a whole video on that if you want to walk through it step by step again. But you look at the second sign. If it's a plus, it means that they are the same. Then you're going to ask yourself, what are they the same of? They are both negative. Okay, so that x always splits, and then you're going to have 2 negatives, and you're going to say what times what gives you 28. If you add or subtract, it gives you 11, and that is 7 times 4. Then you can check yourself quickly. Minus 7 minus another 4 gives you that negative 11, and if you multiply them, negative 7 times negative 4 does give you a positive 28. All right, then we are here with the haha trinomials. I call them haha because they take a bit of time, they take a bit of thinking, but it's actually quite easy. It's also a little method that I'm going to explain to you, and we normally use the crisscross method. So if you make a little cross like that, we want to get on the one side 21 if you write the first number of the first term, and at the back the last term should give you 4. Okay, so with a cross, the first term you write in the front, the last term's value you write at the back. Don't stress about the signs yet. Then we're going to say, all right, what are the factors of 21? You can get 7 times 3. You can get, is it only 3? Or you can also swap it around, 3 times 7. And 21 times 1, which is rarely that big number times by 1, but let's just write it down for any case. And then for 4, you can get 2 times 2, or you can get 4 by saying 4 times 1. So now we want to write down our values. It's a bit of a guessing game. So I'm going to put the 7, and because there's an x, I'm going to write the 7x there, and working with this one, 7 times 3, so 3x over there. Then I'm going to go with the 2 by 2, so 2 and 2. So then you're going to do the cross method. You're going to say 7x times 2 gives you 14x. 2 times 3x gives you 6x. Is there somehow that I can get from 14 and 6 to that middle term 25? No, I can't. So I'm going to restart it again. I'm going to, even if I swap it, it's not going to help me. So I'm going to go back. The 2 and the 2 has to stay there, but I'm going to swap around the 7 and the 3. Oh, not the 7 and 3. I'm going to make it 21 and 1. And obviously then the 2 and the 2. I'm going to write the x's down there. Okay, then you're going to go 21 times 2 gives you 42. 2 times 1 gives you 2. Is there any how that I can get 42 and 2 all the way to 25? No, not at all. So I'm going to try the 4 and the 1. So it is quite a bit of a guessing game, and if sometimes you guess it right the first time around, and sometimes you don't. So I'm going to still say 7 times 3, and then I'm going to move over to 4 times 1. And it might just be that you have to swap these two around just now. So let's just see if it works out. So you're going to say 7 times 1 gives you 7. And 3 times 4 gives you 12. Okay, there's no way of 12 plus 7 that I can get that middle term 25. So I'm going to swap the 7 and the 3 to 3 and 7x, and I'm going to make it 7, oh, sorry, not 7, 4 and 1. So let's test it. 3 times 1 is 3. 7 times 4 is 28. Oh, yes, thank goodness. All right, because 28 minus 3 will give you that positive 25. So very important, we have to get that middle term, positive 25. Okay, so you can either write, it can either be a positive 3 minus 28, and that would give you, or it can be 28 minus 3. Sorry, that will give you a negative, so it can't be that. No, sorry. So it can be, I'm just going to go all the way through. It must be a positive 28 minus 3. Okay, so because 28 minus 3 gives you that positive 25, not the other way around. Now you're going to ask, which answer gave you a positive 28? It was the 7x times 4. So the positive is going to go with this leg that gave you 28. So you see positive 28 and 7 times 4. Then the negative must go where your answer gave you negative 3. So the negative is going to go there. And those are your actual two brackets then that was created here. Okay, so your first bracket is going to be 3x plus 4, and your second bracket is going to be 7x minus 1. And then you can please always test yourself. So if I'm going to distribute that back, 3x times 7x is 21x squared minus 3x plus 28x minus 4. Does that give you 21x squared minus 3x plus 28 is plus 25x minus 4. So does it give you this original trinomial? Yes, it does. So then we know that this is correct, and I have tested it. Okay, so just to quickly, the easy trinomials, I'm just going to run through them quick. If you've got two brackets, the x splits, they are the same. What are they the same of? They're both negatives, and 7 times 4. Okay, we've done this one actually in the beginning. So minus 7 minus 4 does give you that minus 11. And a negative 7 times a negative 4 does give you that positive 28. Okay, next one. Two brackets. They are different. Different meaning plus minus or minus plus. Which one goes first? The plus. So it's going to be plus minus. The x splits. What times what gives you 24? If you add or subtract, it gives you 10. So 6 times 4, always writing the biggest number first. Test yourself. Plus 6 minus 4. No, they are different. The first one's a plus. So it can't be 6 and 4. Because 6 times 4 gives you 24. But plus 6 minus 4 gives you a positive 2. So there's something wrong with this. So you have to backtrack. The x and the x still splits, but let's try another one. What about 12 times 2? 12 times 2 gives you 24, and plus 2 minus 2 gives you a positive 10. So just test yourself. Plus 12 minus 2 gives you a positive 10, and a positive 12 times a negative 2 does give you the negative 24. Okay, correct. Next one. We can also change it with m's. The m's splits. They are different. The first one's a plus and then a minus. So we can write in 6 times 1. So I could have also said 3 times 2. So 6 minus 1, if I test it, plus 6 minus 1 does give you that positive 5. And a positive 6 times negative 1 gives you negative 6. So this one was correct. If I had to put a 3 and a 2. So let me do it with the next one. Maybe the next one's going to work out like that. So if you've got your two brackets, they are the same. They are both positives. So the m splits and they're both positive. Then what if I said 6 and 1? Because 6 times 1 does give me 6. And now I must test it. Plus 6 plus 1 doesn't give me positive 5. It gives me positive 7. So I had to use the other two, which is 3 and 2, because 3 times 2 does give me positive 6, and plus 3 plus 2 does give me but the positive 5. So just please, you have to check your trinomials. Okay, next one. Okay, they're the same. They are both negative. All right, so if I had to put a 6 and a 1, because minus 6 minus 1 doesn't give me that negative 5. So I can't put negative 6, so I'm going to say 3 and 2. Minus 3 minus another 2 does give you negative 5, and if you multiply the 2, it does give you positive 6. Okay, over here, you get trinomials where you have to take out a factor of 3, and I'm just going to whip out my calculator because I don't trust myself so well. So I have to first take out a 3. Nothing else that I can take out. Then what is left? X squared minus 7x, and 54 divided by 3 gives you negative 18. Okay, now you can factorize that trinomial. 2 brackets, they are different. The first one's a minus and a plus. The x splits. And let's try 9 times 2. A negative 9 plus 2 does give you negative 7. And if you multiply the 2, it does give you negative 18. Good. All right, last one. I'm first going to take out a negative x, because that's my HCF. What is left then? A positive x squared plus 2x minus 8. And then it's a trinomial. That negative x comes with, it drags along. The x splits. It's different. The first one's a plus and then a minus. And 4 times 2. Plus 4 minus 2 does give you a positive 2. And if you multiply, it does give you negative 8, which makes it correct. All right, so now let's look at the more advanced quadratic trinomials, aka my haha trinomials. Okay, the first one, I think I did do the 21x squared plus 25x. Yes, okay, I did that one. So I'm going to skip to B. All right, so again, we're going to start with our crisscross. The 12 is going to go on this side, and the 2 is going to go on this side. So what are the factors of 12? It can either be 12 times 1, or it can be 6 times 2, or it can be 4 times 3. For 2, it can only be 1 times 2 or 2 times 1. Okay, so remember that you can interchange them as well and write different ones. So let's just start with the first one. Let's say 12 and 1, and then on the other side, I'm going to put 2 and 1. So if you multiply them, going with the leg, 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 2 is 2. Is there any way to say 12 minus 2 or 12 plus 2 to give me that negative 11x? No. So I'm going to try 4 and 3 over here. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. So 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So again, no. I'm going to try another one. I'm going to scratch them out that I've tried them. So what about 6 and 2 and 1 and 2? Let's try that combo. 6 times 2 is 12 and 2 times 1 gives you 2. Still not going to give me. What if I just swap these two around? 6 times 1 is 6. 2 times 2 is 2. Also not. Let me just try another color. Okay, so the one I haven't tried, 4 and 3, I could swap 3 and 4 around, which I haven't tried yet. And over here, 4 times 2 is 8, and 1. There we go. Okay, so we're looking at the blue now. 3 times 1 is 3, and 4 times 2 is 8. And now I can say, well, 8 and 3, how do I get negative 11? So it's minus 3 minus 8. Just to quickly show you, the signs are also like this. They are the same. So it still tells you that they are the same. Same with our grade 9 trinomial, and that they're going to be both negative. Okay, so it's going to be a minus over here and a minus over there. Looking at the blue, there's my 2 brackets created. So it's going to be 3. Remember to add the x minus 2. And over here, 4x minus 1. Why do I write it next to it? Sorry. And 4x minus 1. Just test yourself. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. minus 3x minus 8x plus 2 gives you 12x squared minus 11x plus 2, which is what I got, which means that this is correct. Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast. Now, with these ones, you also, but now on your other leg, instead of just adding an x, you're going to add a y as well on the other side. So making your crisscross, you're going to write 24 over here, and over there, there's a 1. So luckily this one, we have to know that it's 1 times 1. That will give me that 1. But 24 has got a few factors. 2 times 12, 6 times 3, and 24 times 1, which is really. I'm going to try the 12 and the 2, because easily I can see that that times what? That, let me do it in another color. 12 and 2, because 12 times 1 is 12 and 2 times 1 is 2. Is there somehow that I get from 12 and 2 to negative 10xy, so that middle term? Yes, I can say 12 or minus 12 plus 2. Okay, because if I say, or I can say 2, which is the same, minus 12, if you had it the other way around. Okay, so because if you're swapping the two terms, you can do that as long as the sign comes with. So now, let me just get another color. Okay, so now instead of just adding the x's over here, you'll also have to add the y over there, which is on that side. So your two brackets factorized is 12x. Sorry, what gave me 12 times 1 gave me a negative 12, so the minus must go here. And the 2x, what gave me 2 times 1 is 2, a positive 2. So the plus goes over there. Okay, so just to show you again, the leg that you multiply together, 12 and 1, gave me that. I realized that it must be a negative 12. So that's why the minus goes there. And here, 2 times 1 is 2, but it was a positive 2, I figured out. So the plus must go there. So there's your two brackets. So 12x plus y. And the second bracket, 2x minus y. So I'm just going to test it again. 12x times 2x is 24x squared minus 12xy plus 2xy minus y squared. And if you simplify that, 24x squared minus 12 plus 2 is minus 10xy minus y squared. Does it give me that original? Yes, it does. So I know this is correct. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you hear the baby crying. We've got friends over and they have a little baby, a sweet little girl, and she's a little bit tired, I think. Okay, so then again, crisscross method. 15 can either be 5 times 3, and 3 can be 3 times 1. I'm just going to go a little bit faster here. 5 times 1 gives me 5. 3 times 3 gives me 9. Is there somehow that I can get to 18? No. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to swap these two. And 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Yes. Okay, so I know they're the same. They're both negative. So minus must go with both. And there's your two brackets. Remember to add the x. So I'll have 3x minus 3. And in the other bracket, 5x minus 1. Test yourself. 3 times 5 is 15x squared minus 3x minus 15x plus 3. And that gives you 15x squared minus 18x plus 3. So that is correct. Okay, so over here, we're going to first take out a negative. And then what's left? 6x squared plus x minus 15. Crisscross method. What gives you 6, 2, and 3? What gives you 15, 3, and 5? Hopefully my first shot is good. My first time around, 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 3 is 9. Is there somehow to get a 1? Yes, 10 minus 9. So it must be a positive 10 and a minus 9. So which one gave me a 9? 3 and 3. So this one must have a minus. And 2 and 5 gave me a positive. Okay. The x goes over here. The x goes over there. So there's your 2 brackets factorized. 2x minus 3. 3x plus 5. Just quickly test yourself. Don't do it in the test, or well, do it in the test, but do it differently. Do it far away so your teacher doesn't think that you factorize and then simplify it again. The minus, very important. The minus must come within your answer. So it's just standing there, and then your brackets are still there, but the minus must come down. So then you've got minus 2x times 3 is 6x squared plus 10x minus 9x minus 15. Plus 10 minus 9 is a plus x minus 15. Okay, so that's good. Even with the negative, if you distribute the negative, it will give you that original, which means that is correct. Okay, so just also remember that you have to sometimes get a term, a trinomial that you just have to reshuffle. Remember that the sign comes with. Oh, shame, she's crying so bad. Shame. Okay, so you take out a negative, minus 13a minus 18, and then you're going to crisscross factorize from there. 21 can give you 7 times 3, 18, 6 times 3, 7 times 3 is 21, 3 times 6 is 18. Is there somehow that I can get negative 13? No. So I'm just going to try it in another color. 3 times 7, I'm just going to switch it around. So 3 times 3 gives you 9. 7 times 6 gives you 42, which no, not at all. I'm a bit big. Oh, it's a bit big. Let's do 1, 2, and 9. Because 2 times 9 can also give you 18. So 3 times 9 is 27. And 7 times 2 gives you 14. And if you subtract that 2, 6 and 7 gives you 13. Okay, so you have to have a negative 27 plus 14, or a positive 14 minus 27. Which one gave you the positive, or a 14? 7 times 2, so the plus goes there. Which one gave you 27? The 3 and the 9, which means the minus goes over there. There's your brackets formed. Remember to add your x's. So I'm just going to turn it up a bit. So it's going to be 3x plus 2 and 7x minus 9. Remember your negative. Okay. So it will be negative 3x times 7x. I'm just testing it, so please don't do it in your on your paper when you are busy. Do it sideways, somewhere different. So I'm just going to do it like this. Negative 3x times 7 is 21x squared minus 3 times 9 is 27x plus 14x minus 18. And that gives you simplified minus 27 plus 14 and negative 13 minus 18. Okay, so it is correct. All right, so this one was in a class, and then some of the students struggled a little bit, or they did at first glance. I think it seems very hard, but just remember, oh, sorry, I've turned my paper. There we go. All right, just remember, if you deal with fractions, first things first, you need to get a common LCD. So 2 over 3x can also be written as 2x squared over 3 plus a third x can also be written as x over 3 minus 2 over 1. So remember, 2 over 3 times x squared, that means 2 over 3 times x squared over 1. And if you bring them together, it will look like this, like that. Okay, so 2 times x squared is 2x squared over 3 times 1 is 3. And that is why you can write it or rewrite it like that as 1 all over 3. Okay, so now we're just going to find our common LCD. And this one, I just have to go and times with a 3, times with a 3. So then you've got 2x squared plus x minus 2 times 3 is 6 all over 3. And then the top here is a trinomial. So quickly on this side, my crisscross method. 2 I can only get by 2 times 1. 6 I can get by 3 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. And a positive 4 minus 3 will give you that positive 1. 2 times 2 should get the positive. 1 times 3 should get the negative. So your brackets are going to be 2x plus 2. Sorry, I always do that. I go down. 2x minus 3. X plus 2 all over 3. I'm just going to test myself quickly. 2x times x is 2x squared plus 4x minus 3x gives you a positive x minus 6. Okay, and then you can go and write it as a third times 2x minus 3x plus 2. Or you can leave it like that. Okay, both of these answers are perfectly correct. And that is it. Sorry for the noise in the background. I am a mom of 2 and we do have friends and babies and noise and dogs, and yeah, so I hope you can bear with me, and I hope that the trinomials is a breeze to walk through when you get to it next time. Okay, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.